devices non-compliance on the endpoint platform.
Devices are so it's your home devices. I mean the virtual machines in VMware Workstation.
Yes, the one I set up on the VM. I don't know if I can share my screen to show you.
Yeah, go ahead, share.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome. Okay. Oh, you're able to share the screen?
It's as if you need to stop your own sharing.
Yeah, I mean, oh, you can just override my share, but I'll stop.
Because it's
Okay, I
telling me
stopped.
that,
Okay, done.
can I try it now?
So now there must be a share button up
Yes,
somewhere. Okay.
I wanted to share. It was saying that, okay.
So guys, the question is that why the machines are non-compliant, and that's what Rafael is asking. Okay, so I can see the shared screen now, so I'll share it here on this screen. Oh, okay. Um, I mean, it should be started. So first thing is they should be regularly communicating with Intune. If they are off for a long time, then obviously they will be non-compliant. And the second thing is you should have company portal app. So go ahead and start the machines.
Okay,
Rafael.
one second. Okay,
So when you start the machine, then log in from those users which were
okay,
Intune compatible users, and those users which were added to the security group. Hopefully, you have added those
okay.
users to the group. Third thing is company portal app should be there. Was it installed in these machines, Rafael?
Yeah, 1 second.
Oh,
I
okay.
don't know why.
Yeah, I can see now.
Just looking very body together. So,
I can minimize this WebEx and yeah, okay.
can you see what I'm sharing now?
Yes. Yeah,
That is the Microsoft Intune Admin Center. Can you see it?
yeah, I can see that. So
Okay, you can those two devices showing non-compliance.
yeah, so the reason, obviously, when the devices are logged in properly from those users, which are added to the security groups, and those security groups are added to the correct policies, we have to confirm all that chain. And so it depends on how machines are configured right now. So
Yes.
yeah, it's crucial to see those machines settings.
So I should go to. I
You
should
should
power
go
all
to,
those machines or what?
yeah, the VMware workstation machines.
Okay.
So if those machines are not configured well, obviously they won't be compliant. And if these machines are off majority of the time, then they will not be compliant. They have to be powered on to communicate with Intune.
Okay.
If you're following all the labs, then obviously all the steps have to be followed. Okay, Windows 11. So, which user will you log in from?
Yeah, so let me
Mm-hmm.
log in like this. It's 7894561 2. So yeah, can you see the screen, sir?
Yeah.
Okay, window, that's the window 11.
Um, did you log in from any Azure Activity user?
Yes, this is
So,
I log in here as Amanda, I think. Let me see.
so you can go to CM, okay, settings. Oh yeah,
Okay,
that's the,
settings. I want to go to CMD to check the host.
okay.
I don't know why when I just started sharing the screen, the system just became so slow. I don't know why. It was not
Well,
like this so slow before.
okay, so yeah, that's gonna take time, man.
Yeah, the system is just so extremely slow. I don't know what is going on.
Mhm.
Probably if I get it right at the end of the class anyway, so that I don't
Okay,
give
like
everybody
try
the
to,
traffic.
well, I'll send you the steps then in the chat if you can confirm those steps one by one, because that's what I wanted to confirm as well. So I'm just gonna put in chat.
Okay.
Uh, Raphael. So that's your R. Okay,
Yeah.
RAPHAEL. Um, please check the T shoot steps. If your VMs are non compliant. And yeah, that's not an easy task. In production environments, we were having this issue all the time, and we are still having that. That whatever machine we make compliant fully, after some time, few of them stop communicating to Intune, and then they show non-compliant. Sometimes there's actual security reason, or there's some setting that is not implemented, and sometimes they simply did not communicate at all. So there are some tissue steps. Uh, Check if the correct user is correct AAD user is logged into the machine. First, check that. Which security group this user is a member of? Check that. Is that security group added to Intune compliance policies and configuration profiles? Also, on VM, did you install company portal app? Also, did you click sync button to once make sure that machine is communicating with Intune? So these are some of the steps I would want to confirm, but then obviously all the other settings everywhere else if this doesn't work. But you have to be consistent on this um, to keep the machine up as in keep the machine up as in VMware Workstation. VMware Workstation, it tends to in VMware Workstation it tends to suspend, get suspended, and then it will not communicate with into it must stay powered on, and sync button inside company portal app needs to be clicked uh, again and again with restart of VM after maybe 15 minutes and then sync again. If all policies are correctly configured on Intune. So lots of T-shoot here. We had to do a lot of T-shoot there. So yeah, it's not easy task, but once you get the hang of it, then yeah, troubleshooting the non-compliance becomes much easier.
Okay, what about the BitLocker setting? Can it also affect it?
BitLocker setting, yes, can affect it if BitLocker is not configured and it was required in the policy, then yes, it won't be compliant until BitLocker is configured.
Okay, because I
Either
remember
the
I've not
option
configured my BitLocker.
you did not configure. Okay.
Yes, but it's prompting,
Um,
it's giving me notification.
okay. Think you got the culprit, but hey, in my machine, BitLocker was not configured, but I think I removed that requirement of BitLocker because my environment is virtual machine based. So as soon as I removed the requirement, it became compliant. But if it is a requirement there, then we have to just you know either do a registry hack for BitLocker on your machine. I'll send you that registry hack that ignore BitLocker or implement BitLocker in a way that, well, in physical machines, that's not the way we do it. This is just a workaround. Or remove the requirement from the policy that we don't need BitLocker, but everything else must be implemented, and then it will show compliance.
Okay,
Okay.
thank
So
you.
yeah, this needs to be troubleshooted. First, check all that. But I guess you got to this issue. So when the machine is again performing well, we can connect again before the end of the class.
Okay, thank you.
I'll just send that invitation to other guy who's waiting in email format. So we're going to talk about Autopilot and some of the configurations there. Let's go okay. Saturday morning class. Robert, 7, 3, come on. Okay, done. Let us um, go ahead. So, send. All right, guys. Now, I'm going to share my screen and let's talk about this thing called Autopilot, which I keep saying auto-enroll. So the Microsoft official terminology for that is Autopilot. Now, some guy, Prajwal Desai, there are many others who have also wrote a lot about Autopilot and step-by-step configurations. But this guy, Prajwal Desai, is uh, someone that I have been following for many of the tea shoots there. Let me just share the link for um, uh, in the chat as well. The one of the best links to configure Intune Autopilot, and that is this. But it is kind of long the way he did it, and the way I did it in my organization was slightly different, and I'm amazed that can there be multiple ways that we were doing that. Yes, there can be. So what is autopilot and benefit of that? But that's the article that would help. Um, I'll also just clarify that though I did it slightly different in my company. So yeah. Now, Intune Autopilot, what is Windows Autopilot? First of all, Windows Autopilot startup process overview, advantages of using Windows Autopilot, and 10 requirements, Windows 10 or 11 requirements, licensing requirements. There are so many other configurations as well for this that need to be done. But first thing is that Autopilot, according to Microsoft, is a Windows Autopilot is a collection of technologies used to set up and pre-configure new devices, getting them ready for productive use. Autopilot can be used to reset, repurpose, reinstall again or reimage, and recover devices. The Autopilot solution enables an IT department to achieve the above with little to no infrastructure to manage, with a process that's easy and simple. Okay, in English, what it says is that you can just auto enroll. Oh, sorry. There was some chat going on. Vijay says in the chat, is Amanda part of the security group? Oh, yeah. So, Rafael, you have to check that. And Vijay says the Intune dashboard will show why the device is not compliant and you can change the policy according to that. Oh, exactly. I think Rafael checked and yes, I added Amanda as part of the security group. Good, good. Sorry, I just started reading that chat. I'll follow up now. I'll keep it in front of me. ONK. So autopilot, this is um, so if I go to diagram here, the autopilot device, and I will try to grab some diagram here as well quickly. I'll grab a laptop picture. Laptop. Okay, let's quickly go for something. Images. Okay. And suppose you have a laptop, and I'll just create one more page on my, OneNote on the other side and put some pictures there. So suppose you have a laptop here that needs to be reimaged. So when we want to reimage this, okay, I'm trying to let in student needed to let in ah, participants. Okay, yeah. So if you're doing autopilot, Autopilot, right? So it's just automating the image to such an extent that you don't have to touch anything. So if there's a re-imaging of virtual machine going on, actually a physical machine, re-imaging of a physical machine is needed, then it should not take then it should be done with minimal user, actually admin input. User is not even there. I mean, we are re-imaging a machine, right? So user says that either there's a new hire and you need to prepare a machine for that, but you just can't be sitting there only doing or waiting for the machine to be finished. You want to do other works as well. There are so many tickets opened, right? So in that case, you will be uh, doing some other tasks as well. You don't have that kind of time to suppose during the installation it stops at 9 or 10 places. Oh, what is the machine name? Okay, and what is the do you want to enable this option? Do you want to enable that option? Do you want to disable this option, that option? So it stops again and again, and you have to attend to it again, and you have to click, 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 click. So it wastes a lot of your time. So re-imaging of physical machine is needed, then it should be done with minimal admin intervention uh, and least amount of user input is required. Now, when I say least amount, now we have been configuring images in the, when there was configuration SCCM. SCCM is the on-premises version of Intune, right? So there it was totally silent installation where no intervention was needed and the image was deployed over the network to the desktops. And then, okay, if I just create another diagram here. So suppose you have here SCCM server, right? Uh, SCCM server. SCCM is System Center Configuration Manager, and you must at least know this name, that it is for on-premises environment, and for production environment, you should know. And second thing is, suppose there were hundreds of desktops here, hundreds of desktops and laptops empty, just arrived from the company and connected to the network, um, and are empty, no OS, right? In that case, uh, how would you, and the boss says, hey, this weekend I need Windows 10 with MS Office, Adobe Acrobat, and everything that is needed installed in those. Now suppose there are 500 desktops, right? 500, now that's a big number. 500 desktops and laptops just arrived from the company and connected to the network and are empty. Boss requires them to have Windows 10 uh, with all software within this weekend. Now that's a big number to do in this weekend. So the first way to do is you go to each machine and insert a CD or deploy a system over the, maybe OS is, but if it's over the network, it's empty right now. How can you even log into this, right? So you would insert a CD or a USB boot device, and then click, 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 install, click, 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 install, click, 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 install, insert the key, click, 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 install. And good luck with that. 500 desktops on a weekend. You might be able to do like maybe 40, 50, 60 on the weekend, but not 500. So with SCCM, what you could do is you could create a golden image So there was that golden image, right? And that golden image was deployed. So first, a perfect machine was created, and in that perfect machine, you would install the Windows and you would install all the software, right? So OS, OS updates, and all software was installed, properly checked, everything set up, and then you would take the image of this guy and upload this image. So upload image to this SCCM server. And what would that image have? It's the exact copy of the C drive or whatever's in the C drive. It would just simply get copied. I mean, the whole path, everything, users, windows, program files, path, everything would just copy as an image. And then over the network. So these machines were having PXE boot technology, and that is uh, an, a NIC, network interface card, a NIC with PXE boot enabled. Now, PXE boot enable just means that it is pre-boot execution environment, which is that it is an empty machine. Where does it boot or start from, right? So it will start from a network interface card Are you able to hear me? Yeah. Oh, okay. There you go. Thank you. So let's go ahead, and this is the final blow from Rogers I got, and that is going to be it. Recording is in progress. Okay, cool. So, hey Rogers, this is it. You've done it, buddy. Uh, I was just thinking of leaving Roger. Today it's the final nail. Da-da-da. Okay, anyway, let's carry on. And before it gives me another blow, hopefully not. So, okay, now, um, yeah, we were talking about this that SCCM was, a big deal. This guy's having good deal. Bell. Oh, okay. Uh, Thanks. Uh, my building is quite a little old. My building is a bit old, so Bell only gives 50 Mbps, but no issues. Uh, I had that. Okay, guys. So let's get going. Yeah, it happens. People move to older setups because, yeah, they're the cousins. Yeah. So Vijay says in the chat how the licensed software application will be copied over to 500 machines. Even the licenses will be pushed through a CCM. Very good question, Vijay. So yeah, I was saying that. Sorry, I was about to complete that, and then yes, your question, your answer to that question is coming. So we would upload the image, and then we would deploy over the network. Um, we would deploy over the network all this image to all 500 machines either in one go, or if your network bandwidth does not support that, then we would just simply deploy in phases, like 100 machines in first 2 hours. Then when they are done, 100 machines. Oh, serious. Yeah, I didn't share the screen. Okay, that was disruptive. All right. Yeah, sorry about that. And yeah, so we were talking about, so, if we needed to deploy an image, a working operating system updates and all software to 500 empty machines, then we would first create a very good working machine. We would take an image of that machine and upload it to SCCM server. Image means that whatever's in the C drive of this machine, which is working fine with OS updates and software. So we will take an image of that and upload it to SCCM server. Then we actually make some more tweaks that don't ask this question, don't ask that question. Key, yes, the software. Vijay said in the chat, what about the software? So we have installed all software, but every software has to have a license. So there are two ways to deploy that to. Yes, either hard code the keys of the software to the image as well, but then that image is very sensitive and it should not be going in the wrong hands. So um, if this but the thing is, either you hard code the software keys and OS key, license key to the image, or you deploy the software license. Suppose for MS Office, you can deploy over the network that as soon as they connect to the internet, or if there's Adobe Acrobat, you have to deploy over the network that license. So it used to be some administrators would go for just hard code the whole license keys in the image, and you would get a volume license, right? So volume license is what? Anyone knows what's a volume license? We would purchase for a software volume licensing. Anyone knows what that means? Nice. Licensing. So volume licensing means that you would um, purchase one key, and you would tell that vendor that hey, this key will be used for suppose 500 copies of that, 500 copies of this key in 500 of your instances of your license. So if it is Adobe Acrobat, you would not purchase 500 different keys. You would just purchase one key, and you would say that it will be used for 500 copies of Adobe Acrobat Reader or Read Write. So then when you put that key in the image and you deploy it on 500 machines, they will all connect to internet, and they will report, that copy will report 500 times that this key was used. Suppose it's 501 times somebody deployed the image, so that Adobe Acrobat will not get configured or licensed. It will not get activated. So either you hard code it and then you really, really secure that image, and it should not be getting in the wrong hands. Otherwise, yes, Adobe Acrobat has a mechanism of deploying their software licenses to over the network to where the application is. And there are some scripts as well. So suppose you put a script there that as soon as the image is installed and the Adobe Acrobat suppose starts for the first time over a network, look for the licensing key server and request a licensing key automatically. So there would be those software as well, MS Office, Adobe Acrobat, WinZip, or any other software. You would just program it that way that as soon as it starts, it looks for a local license server of that software. So there are many ways: deploy it over the network, uh, let them request and pull the key from the local server or from the internet where you have already purchased it, or hard code the key inside the image, and it will already be working. But then you have to purchase volume licensing for all this, that 500 keys for this, Adobe Acrobat, WinZip, 500 keys, and MS Office 500, I mean 500 machines, one key, but will be used for 500 machines or 1000 machines. Yeah. So licensing, yeah, that has to be handled when you're deploying just one image to so many machines. And yeah, I was talking about the Pixie boot as well. So Pixie boot is that the network interface card of an empty machine. There's no OS inside, it's just empty. So the network interface card is Pixie boot enabled. If it comes in the interview or somebody ever asks that, because big organizations still have this setup running, so the network interface card is Bixby boot enabled, which means as soon as you start the empty machine, the network interface card, it boots from network interface cards or starts from network interface card, and then it is programmed to look for a DHCP. Where is DHCP in this network? So it finds a DHCP, and DHCP provides an IP, private IP to this network interface card. As soon as the private IP is provided by DHCP to this network interface card, this machine can be seen over the network. And then SCCM detects, oh, there's a machine without an operating system and it's empty. And network card is saying, hey, I got the IP, I'm over the network. Can you deploy that image on this machine? So as soon as the network interface card of an empty machine gets an IP, it's over the network. It can be communicated over the network. So SCCM throws that image on that machine, and automatically the whole OS gets installed, which is already updated as well, and all software inside already installed. Everything gets copied here, and when it restarts, it is like you just install the whole thing one by one. But it happens in what, 1.5 hour, 1 hour, max 2 hours. But what you took like 3 4 hours, or even more to install and configure and restart all the updates. Updates take a lot of time itself, and then all the software and then set them properly. It will take a lot of hours, right? So in half an hour to 1 hour, the whole working image of a machine is deployed over the network. When you restart, it's a totally working machine joined to the remaining one, and everything is perfect. So this was the way people were saving hundreds and hundreds of hours of time that it would have taken one by one to install machines on a big organization to huge amount of machines, right? So you create an image and just simply deploy it. So that still happens. SCCM on premises branches is a very powerful server. If somebody takes that name, SCCM, so you should know that it is the systems center configuration manager, and its cloud version is what we are doing, and that is Intune. And in many companies, big companies, uh, SCCM is deployed on premises, and Intune is also deployed through cloud. And then SCCM and Intune are then combined together, and then they collaborate with each other. They share the lists with each other, they share the performances with each other, and whatever machines are registered in SCCM on premises in a local branch, like suppose Toronto branch, all the list goes to the Intune, the cloud partner of this software. But it was easy doing that for thousands of machines through SCCM. But then Intune came, and now Autopilot is also one of the thing that needs to be checked. It did make our life easy when we were configuring that. We wanted to automate the whole thing. Okay. And being oh, okay. Cool. Yeah, still getting to know some internet deals, which is good. So yeah. Now, what is Autopilot then? And what's the big deal about that? How Autopilot saves time. Now, autopilot would be that the main purpose still would be that you don't want to waste time clicking through the installation, right? So autopilot is that if the machine is already installed, okay, so that's the first, like the OS. So autopilot kicks in when and it's not exactly like what we just discussed here. Obviously, remember, this is a fast local network. You're working on LAN. LAN is fast, right? You can do pretty heavy stuff on that. You know, that image alone is 10 GB that is flying over the network. So if it is flying over the network, this image 10 GB to 20 GB. I mean, we try to make the image in a local branch, Toronto branch, where suppose we are deploying it. So we're using LAN first of all, right? So LAN is the fastest network, right? It's just local area network. And second thing, you have good bandwidth. You have deployed Ethernet cables, which are Cat 6E or Cat 7 maybe. So those are supporting very good bandwidth across the network in your local branch. So you can deploy big, heavy images over the network to those machines. But this heavy image could be 12 GB and up to 15 GB as well. So imagine you're deploying 15 GB image over the LAN on at least 100 machines. So when I did it the first time way back, so half of my machines failed to get the image, and when I investigated, so it just ate up all the bandwidth. I mean, the Ethernet cables could not carry that amount of data at one go. So I waited. Half of the machines were done in 1 hour. So then I redeployed the image on the rest of the machines after 1 hour, and then even smaller amount after the next hour. So then I was able to deploy everything. So it's using LAN, which is fast network. But when it comes to um, when it comes to uh, cloud, that's not the luxury you have, right? In cloud, you will be having very less bandwidth. That's the first thing you face, right? And how SCCM used to work. It's not used to, it's still working. How SCCM works on LAN to deploy images, right? So that is very important to understand that you join some bigger company which is paying you much better, much higher price. What are the systems there and how are they working? You must know that the background of it. So here the main thing is fast network. Okay, but here now Intune is in cloud equals um, uh, wide area network WAN equals slow network. So you can't actually deploy images. You can't expect Intune to works the same way as SCCM. So this means that you will have to make sure that whatever you're doing, you're not deploying um, a heavy installation or heavy image. You can't actually do that. So what changed here? Intune is in cloud when it is slow network. So you can deploy that same image to 500 machines. Then what do you do? That's where the difference comes. You will have to, since it is in cloud, so we have to make sure that initial Windows is installed um, on a laptop. And now it's majority of the time it's laptops. Um, on a laptop, yes. And then when the first time a user account, we did that at the start of this course, right? You must log in from an Intune ready user, right? So, and then when the first time a user account is logged in, then, um, it, the autopilot should kick in from there. Autopilot should kick in from there. So this means that yes, the initial installation of the system you have to do click locally, or you can just use SCCM for that purpose. But if you have SCCM, I mean, then why are you using Intune then? So the thing is, as deploying SCCM and purchasing license for that, it's not easy. It's pretty expensive, and SCCM is not very easy to learn as well. It's there's a lot of learning curve there as well. So if you are deploying through Intune, it's one by one. Since it is in cloud, so we have to make sure that initial Windows is installed. Now this initial Windows install means, yes, you have to initially click the actual Windows installation. When it reaches the point where you want to put the user, you have to add that user to autopilot group. So didn't we do that at the start of this course? Like we had an Intune ready user and we logged in from that user from the laptop here. And then, yeah, it just kept on installing, right? So yes, we did that. But at that time, it was asking, it was stopping at many things. So we need to, as soon as the user Intune ready and autopilot ready user logs in, then everything should be automated other than the pin. I mean, the user must put the pin him or herself, or even we can put that and user can change that later. But we stop at hello only. We stop at Windows hello. And even that can be mastered by putting some kind of temporary key there, temporary pin, and tell the autopilot, hey, don't stop at anything. Just keep on installing the OS, keep on installing the updates, and then keep on installing the software. And when everything's ready, just that's it. We're gonna just hand you over to the user. and we didn't have to do anything other than asking a user to, yeah, other than we installed the Windows, we waited for the user to log in. The user who was in Autopilot ready user logged in, and that's it. Then we forgot, we went somewhere else, and kept doing our work, and the whole installation onwards after the user logged in was uh, touchless, right? So that's the main purpose of Autopilot. But how do you perfect it? How much hard work you give to it? It all depends on that. Did you really master that technology of Autopilot? And what are the drawbacks there as well? Initially, you still have to do a few steps that Autopilot requires you to do. We're going to be talking about those steps now. But yeah, we stop at Windows Hello. In my company, that's what we do. We stop at Windows Hello and we tell the user, hey user, can you come here and just put the pin. He or she puts the pin, and then we say, okay, now we'll let you know when the machine is done. User goes away, we also go away, and everything starts getting installed after this, and we don't have to attend to it until it just is ready on the desktop, right? Um, we still have to master that ourselves as well. This Windows Hello where it stops. So yes, it does stop. This means we can make this one also unattended, right? But we want the user to put the key. So because the user is in the office, why don't he or she just comes and put the key? Otherwise, we can just make that also go away. We're not a very big organization, so that's why there's not a long line of machines there. So yeah, we can always do this. If it was a big organization, yes, we would just simply make it unattended or touchless, right? Okay, so now we understand that Windows Autopilot is that you initially still have to install the machine, but when the user logs in the first time, after that it should be as much touchless or unattended as we can make it. That's the main purpose of Autopilot. And Autopilot actually joins hand with one more thing, and it was not a big deal, but I deployed that to Autopilot and Auto Patch. Auto patch is, yeah, the automatic patching of Windows machine. So autopilot then works alongside auto patch, and obviously the word auto would tell you right away that you don't have to really worry about the patch cycles as well. And yeah, so it would just be autopilot is you deploy the machine the first time. After that, the machine is enlisted to auto patch, and auto patch then simply keeps on patching the Windows environment. We're not talking about third party right now. All right, third party software. We're just talking about auto patching Windows, auto piloting Windows, just the initial installation, and then patching every month automatically as well, right? So, and Microsoft is actually has it's not a very old feature, autopilot, and it's not really new as well. So it's been 1.5 year or 2 years since autopilot was introduced, and Microsoft has given some very very good step-by-step documentation on that. So yeah, Autopilot is there, and let's try to check out some more details. What we need to do, where we need to go. There's a lot of initial configuration is obviously a lot of areas you have to go and configure. Hey, I want this to be removed. I want that. Windows asks this. I need to remove that. So whatever you can make touchless or unattended, you will try to do that. So I'll just in the background I'll start the Windows automatically. Did I say automatically? Yeah. So the first process here would be that I will go to VMware Workstation. Now we have two Windows which were installed. They're still suspended. But for Autopilot, obviously, I need the Windows to be on that state where it is asking for a Autopilot ready. So that user is already Intune ready, but that user should be Intune ready plus Autopilot ready now, right? So we have to configure the whole Autopilot thing. Some of the configurations are familiar, but some of the configurations will be a bit different. So if I'm just gonna start installation of one Windows 10 in the background. So this is actually what we do in the office as well. And so yeah, this is not pretty much auto. This is manual unless we use a script here as well. Again, we were not a big company, so the lab would be lab steps. Lab steps are that we have to first lab steps are that we have to well, install a basic Windows 10 or 11 on an empty machine, and then uh, until the installation goes, let's configure different areas of Intune Autopilot, right? Let's configure different areas of Intune Autopilot, and then yeah. Um, Yeah. So, what are those areas? That's the main thing. I have shown a big list here, and I have given a recommendation as well that this guy, Prajwal Desai, is one of those guys who is dedicated on Intune. So, this guy actually he worked on other technologies as well, WSAS. Um, hey, where's Intune? Okay, SCCM and Storm. But that's, oh yeah, cloud. Sorry. There you go. Autopilot, Azure, uh, Autopilot, Azure, and oh, it's not saying there. Okay, Autopilot, Azure, Intune, PowerShell, Teams, Windows 6, right? So he goes cloud as well. But this is something that you would be very taking a very good benefit of. I just shared the link already in WhatsApp, like 2 months ago, and step by step new Windows Autopilot Guide 2023. So that was pretty cool what he did, and he's actually going really advanced on that. HoloLens as well. He's working on delete Windows Autopilot device from. Oh man. Whew. Okay, this is something that is pain in the neck for us in my office. And I really, we were thinking that it's going to be easy to delete the machine from Autopilot, but it was not till now. And we had so much other going on that when you add a machine to Autopilot, it's not easy to delete. So he had found that solution as well. And this is something that I'm going to copy on, as I get that, very cool articles that I really need for my job. So I will just put it in my WhatsApp in the you area, your name, you area, where you can save links that are just for you. Otherwise, we have to share it with others. So anyway, yeah. This is the recommendation. This guy will help you. This guy's articles will help you a long way. It helped me a lot, in short. And there are others. There is a YouTube channel. They talk about only Intune, and there are two guys, two bearded guys, and okay, I'll be sharing all those resources in my WhatsApp as well, and they will be useful for you as well in your Intune journey. And whenever you want to troubleshoot, even if you start Intune training, if you type there will be hundreds and hundreds of videos there. So many people have worked on it. Okay, anyway, let's go ahead. Windows Autopilot. Now we know that we have to be really first we have to install Windows. So I'm just going to quickly start doing that. So then we're going to start going through different Autopilot configurations that are recommended by Microsoft. Then some other users as well. I'll just start with Windows 10 quickly. As we have been installing before, I will install the operating system later. Windows 10 x64, yeah. And this is Autopilot. -01. Maybe I have to recreate, so I don't know. And this is just as a habit 200 GB. We have gone through that before. Next, and then I'll customize this, but I hope it's not pain in the neck for me. 4 GB, I'll just put that there. I'll keep it to virtual CPUs and network adapter as a NAT because I need internet connection. So I'll click close here and finish here. And I'll just start the installation quickly. I haven't given the OS yet, so I'll just power on first with an empty machine. I'll press OK to whatever pops up. It looks like you're sharing videos. Yeah. And yeah, just click no to this. It always comes. Now it cannot you know, see an operating system because I never gave a path. So I'm just going to give a path here. I'll go to settings and I'll just let it install till where it asks for keyboard language, and then ultimately it asks for, hey, who's the user? So we need to make an autopilot ready device and a user. So it's not just user. We need to make this particular device or Windows autopilot ready as well. So it's going to be device-based group as well. But anyway, I'll just go for CD, DVD here, make sure these two are connected, and then use the ISO image file, browse, and hopefully this is my other PC, so I had moved everything. Yeah, Windows 10 Pro is there. And then I'll have to restart this. So power and restart guest. And I have to click quickly as soon as it says press any key to continue, right? So I'm going to restart, click on the screen just to select the screen, and then press any key to continue. This came. We did that before already. So it's going to start now. Hopefully it's not, it doesn't slow down anything. Uh, so while this is going on, and wherever it stops. So yeah, this is what we are doing in our production environment. We are installing the initial windows manually. Um, why did we not make it, automated as well? Yeah, if it was like 10,000 users environment, uh, then obviously we would have SCCM as well, right? So then in that case, we would have handled it locally. But we're just like small company with big budget and thousands of actually just the masses that connect to our website. Oh, I don't have a key. Okay. It's asking for a key. Please go ahead. Don't stop here. Okay. And Windows 10 Pro. And please don't make any problems. Okay, yeah, so I accept the license terms next, and then custom. I'm not upgrading, so it's custom. And then that's it. It's next. So yeah, it's installing. Hopefully it goes ahead. Yeah, so I was saying that our company is small, so that's why we go through this process already. In fact, as soon as a employee is leaving the company, he or she hands over the laptop. We just log in from our IT help account that has machine privileges, machine level privileges, and then we go to settings, we go to recovery, and we simply reset the machine to factory default. And when it's fully reset, we just close the laptop. That's it. It's ready for the next user to log in. That's it. That user has to be made autopilot ready, but it's pretty easy for us that a machine comes back, we need to make it ready for the next user, or a new machine comes. So we just go through this process, and when it's ready to log in for the user, we just log in and then do some other work. So it's not a very big deal for us. From that point of view, I'm doing this. Um, Install a basic Windows 10 or 11 on an empty machine. Yes, I'm doing that. Until the installation goes, let's configure different areas of Intune Autopilot. So, uh, and now there are different settings here that we need to configure and check. So if I go to the article of this guy first, and there are many other recommendations as well. Microsoft itself has created a very dedicated kind of page that takes us through the steps in an amazingly helpful way as well. I'm going to share that screen as well. I mean, it's all Google searchable. It's so easy to search in Google. A good read, deploying Windows 10 with Windows Autopilot. Yeah. Another guy who made this autopilot, especially worked on this autopilot, was this endpoint management. Oh man, really? But yeah, if you go for Intune, yeah, deploying Windows 10, this guy also made a wonderful video. I mean, there were others; they were not very helpful for me, at least. But this video was particularly also very helpful for me because this guy was to the point, right? And I'll just share that video as well. Oh man, why am I doing it on? Ah, oh, it's Microsoft 365. Oh, come on. Defender for endpoint. What happened? Did I do something? Is it an ad going on? No, I clicked something wrong. Okay. Yeah, this guy. So, he's an MVP, Andy Malone. Okay. And his video, this autopilot was good. So I'm just gonna show this or I'll share it with you in that here. This edge is not letting me really go through it. We I clicked it here. That's it. Oh, guys. Okay, so let me just share this link. Oh, that's why. YouTube, I'll just tell you. And yeah, this is a link. So another helpful video that really solved my issues. I'll just quickly share that as well. This one, I'm just putting it in share WhatsApp. This one helped me configure autopilot the first time. This guy is to the point. Um, so yeah, some of his videos are very good, actually, technically very good. So, so I just shared that there as well. It will help you as well. Okay, yeah, let's go ahead. So now if we go back to this article, come on, man, doing this. Just go to um, where's that article? Okay, I'll just drag from here. Oh yeah, deploying Windows 11. So guys, sorry, I just keep on sending you more and more links. But what really helped me, it's all about that. So this ultimate Microsoft video that really shows how Autopilot works and where are you, where do you need to go and configure all the settings. The third one was this. I'm just gonna give you a collection of links there, and Microsoft nailed it with Autopilot with this step-by-step config. And yeah, so that is also some of the resources that it was helpful for me. Okay, let's get back to autopilot configuration now. And for this, I'll just go with those major steps that this guy was taking, and I'll just copy from my other again. So yeah, sorry. I clicked it. Yeah, so there it is. So step by step, and if we what is autopilot? We have discussed it in diagram. Windows Autopilot setup process overview. Let's understand about the Windows Autopilot process and how it actually works in any organization. The most time-consuming task for IT is configuring Windows OS on laptops. So that's the most time-consuming. You just don't deploy operating system, you deploy Windows updates, branding, and etc. Reimaging devices is done too often in some organizations, and the IT has to spend a lot of time. Yeah, so we talked about that. Windows Autopilot uses OEM optimized version of Windows 10. This version is pre-installed on the devices. So guys, when you get a laptop, uh, you order, when we order a laptop, obviously, um, in the company. So when we order enterprise grade or a laptop in a company, we make sure that it has Windows Pro already installed. Um, and suppose you, by mistake, uh, if by mistake you ordered a laptop with Windows Home, then you have to purchase license key for Pro, uh, put it and convert Windows Home to Pro. Okay. And once you log in from a fully, E5 license, fully enabled, I mean, all features enabled, then this Windows Pro automatically converts to Windows Enterprise, Windows 10, 11 Enterprise. So Enterprise, it converts automatically when you log in from E5 license. So otherwise, at least minimum, you must have Windows Pro. I actually did that mistake of, purchasing some laptops in a hurry, and I forgot that to tell the guys we have to purchase from Best Buy quickly. We really needed that, so I forgot to see that they were all Windows Home. So we had to purchase the Windows 10 Pro keys. Thank God we had subscription with TechSoup. Anyone knows what's TechSoup? But yeah, our organization is so we got cheap licenses from Microsoft um, partner for not for profit orgs called www.techsoup.com, right? So we got really, really, really cheap licenses from. Otherwise, those licenses would be regular price. But yeah, just to let you know, it's semi-government, so not for profit as well. And so we got all licenses cheap. Our all licenses are actually cheap for Microsoft, very, very cheap. Okay. Until the installation gets going, so you must have these kind of configurations ready. Then we're gonna again go for the rest of the stuff. Wow, there's so many ads here. Apply settings. So the Windows uses the OEM optimized version of Windows 10. This version is pre-installed on the device, so you don't have to maintain custom images and drivers for every device model. Instead of reimaging a device, your existing Windows 10 installation can be transformed into. So this is it. Your existing Windows 10 installation, which when you purchase the laptop, Windows 10 is already installed, Pro. All you need to do is just through Autopilot, just configure it properly, right? Hey, can I get rid of this? Okay. So this is the thing with cloud installation. You already have Windows 10 inside. Just factory reset it. It's already factory reset the first time, right? So just configure it. That's all. Apply settings and policies. Install company applications. Change the edition of Windows 10, for example, Windows 10 Pro to Windows 10 Enterprise. There you go, right? So change it by key or just by logging in from Windows from E5 license if it is fully enabled. Then if you have stripped down some of the functionalities of E5, then yeah, you might not get it. But if it's you didn't attach it, you bought the E5 license, attach it to the user, it's fully enabled with all the features, yeah, you're good. It will just simply change the Windows 10 Pro to Enterprise. After the deployment is complete, you can use either Intune, Configuration Manager, or other tools to manage these devices. Okay, Intune Configuration. Whenever you hear this word Configuration Manager, remember this diagram here. SCCM, Systems Center Configuration Manager. So whenever you hear this word Configuration Manager, working with Intune, so Intune is cloud, and imagine Configuration Manager is always on premises. Cloud, on premises collaboration, right? So it says that you have any one of those big companies, you would find this SCCM. And SCCM experts are hard to find. So many times I've seen that banks are offering big salaries just for experts who can deploy, OS over the network and then applications or apps over the network. So those experts are always needed. Okay, in configuration manager or other tools to manage these devices. So in short, Windows Autopilot can be used to customize the existing Windows OS and not deploy an entirely new operating system. This is the point to understand. First point to understand, when I was talking about the good old days, and it's still not old, it's still happening here with the latest version of SCCM because it's on LAN. Yes, you can handle heavy images here as well, but when you go cloud, you don't really have to start from scratch. This was all from scratch, right? On empty machines. Then you are getting those laptops with Windows 10 Pro, 11 Pro. That's all you need. You just further configure it when it comes to Autopilot. You just further configure it. So here they have given a screenshot as well. And that screenshot is that device vendor, OEM reseller, you purchase a laptop from that, and then fulfill and deliver. The vendor delivers it to you, and you, the admin, do the take it through the autopilot and deploy. Self-service experience there, and it's just ready for business. When the new hire gets that, so when new hire is actually leaving the company now, not new hire, when the employee is leaving the company, so steady state usage, the user has been using it, then end of life, just simply the user returned it, he or she is leaving the company, returned it, then simply break fix or reset, do it the factory reset, and run it through autopilot again, and it's just ready for business again. So this is happening in our company for now quite long. So yeah, after COVID ended. So yeah, by that time during COVID, we had developed all these systems to automatically do everything. Advantages of using Windows Autopilot: automatically join devices to Azure Active Directory, Azure AD, or Active Directory. Auto enroll devices to into MDM services such as Microsoft Intune. Requires an Azure AD premium. So actually, we did achieve that. When our device registers to Azure Active Directory or Entra ID, it automatically joins to Intune anyway. It does that already. Restrict the administrator account creation. Now, whatever type of restrictions you want to implement, that's where Autopilot comes in. That whatever extra settings you need, you have to keep configuring them. Go to that part of Intune, this part of Intune, that policy, this policy, configure all that. Hey, I don't want this, I don't want this, I don't want this, I don't want this. Make a list of it. And then tell Autopilot, hey, can you just push all that? So uh, you can make it security hardened as well. Create and auto assign devices to configuration groups based on a device profile. So we're going to be creating device profile as well. We did that before as well, but now for Autopilot, it's going to be a bit different. Customize OOBE or out of the box experience. OOBE, out of the box experience. This means the first time when the user logs in, it's good experience. It's just a general experience. Few clicks and you're ready. So that is OOBE, content specific to the organization. So suppose organization says, hey, MS Office should be here, Adobe Acrobat should be here, and antivirus should be here, and some of the things should be there already. So users should not should not be doing anything for it. It should be just there silently available. Allows you to perform Windows Autopilot reset, and the reset feature is useful in break fix screen scenario. So you want to quickly reset our device, fully configured device by a user. You want to quickly reset it to factory default and be ready again for the next user or the same user. So that's where Autopilot comes in again. That, oh, you want the device ready with factory default settings. In fact, company customized default settings. You want it to be ready, then use Autopilot for that. So Windows Autopilot 10 requirements. Actually, this is he's just working on 10, and if I go there, it's March 7, 2023. Okay, so it's this year. But Windows 10, this article refers to, but we can do it with Windows 11 as well. For now, just to be precisely doing what we are doing here. So I'm installing Windows 10. In fact, I'll just go for, oh, that's it. Let's start with the region. Okay, so it's gonna be going towards that like it's ready to be configured, right? I don't want it to be suspended. I mean, there's some VMware Workstation functionality here that is seeing that if I'm not working, then suspend the machine. I hope I can find it somewhere. Once I found it and I disabled it, then it did not suspend again. But Bluetooth, it's somewhere here. I'll just quickly check. Automatically adjust user interface size in the virtual machine. No, it's not here. Options. I'll just quickly browse through. Otherwise, oh yeah. Enter full screen mode. Close after powering off or suspending. Power controls are these. Why is it suspending after some? Just power off. When powering off, just power off. Auto protect. And yeah. So I'm just quickly going the user application default. Maybe there's a timeout there for and it suspends. Okay, auto login. Okay, never complete mode. Virtual disable memory. Nah. Okay, it's not here. Anyway, it's a Google search away, I guess. That it's gonna suspend if I don't do anything here, right? Okay. So I'm gonna go back here. Windows Autopilot licensing requirements. This is important section as it covers the licensing requirements for Windows Autopilot. Windows Autopilot depends on specific capabilities available in Windows 10 and Azure Active Directory. It also requires an MDM service, such as Microsoft Intune. Okay. For Windows Autopilot, one of the following subscriptions is required. What subscription you need to enable Autopilot? Okay. So yeah, these are the subscriptions. It's good to know. Suppose your business is not going for E5. Then there are 365 premium subscription, 365 F1 or F3 subscription, A1, A3 or A5 subscription as well, academic that is, and then enterprise E3 or E5. So our account is E5, we're good. But which include all Windows 10, Microsoft 365, and EM plus S, Azure AD and Intune. I think we have that enterprise mobility. Yeah, this one is needed. Make sure this is there. Enterprise mobility, right? We actually were having that already. Enterprise mobility license is in Entra ID, right? So Entra ID, and one day Monday Sunday is gonna log add in. Try again. Entra admin center, both are happening the same thing. So I'm just showing the license that other than E5, you must have Enterprise Mobility Plus, Entra ID Premium 2 license. So and that we saw before as well. So oh, that's purely Entra ID Admin Center. I think if I show more here, there's billing, there's licenses, and all products. Yeah, Enterprise Mobility plus Security 5. This should be there, and E5 should be there. So these two guys should be there because it has a lot of features of Intune supporting. So license wise, we need to make sure where it is. Intune for education, yeah, we don't go for that. Azure Active Directory Premium 1 or 2 and Microsoft Intune subscription on an alternative MDM. We configured all that. We have Active Directory P2, the license I was showing you just now. This one actually has P2 Active Directory Premium 2 as well. So it already has that. Windows Autopilot networking requirements. So what do you need on the network? Well, just LAN, right? Windows Autopilot depends on a variety of internet-based services. Access to these services must be provided for Autopilot to function properly. Please read the official document. I mean, you need internet connection because if we go to this Autopilot, okay, you installed the operating system here, right? But all the policies are coming from cloud, right? So Autopilot lives in cloud. Autopilot. So definitely you need internet connection. Autopilot, all policies are coming from cloud. So all you need to do is that install Windows initially and have internet. Two things you need to do on the ground level, and that is install Windows, have internet. That's all. The rest configurations are coming from cloud. We know that. It's Intune. Okay. So install Windows, have internet. That's all you need to do here. Um, Install Windows. Yeah, that's it. Okay, so if you go there, yes, you need internet and everything's coming from internet, the policies wise. But obviously, if you're saying, hey, I want a image to be downloaded from cloud, uh, yes, that is also possible. In fact, if I just show you when you do factory reset, this guy has shown some configurations here for a factory. Yeah, see, maybe you have seen that before. Maybe you have when you were installing the laptops. When you reset, it says, oh no, no, not that. Keep files. Yeah, this one. You want to go for cloud download or you want to go for local install. So yes, you want a fresh image from cloud. It's gonna connect there and it's gonna take how many hours? Four. Actually, just to download and make it ready. So if you go this way to reset, it's gonna take 4 hours. So recommendation is go local reinstall, which is that image is already there in the machine. It saves a lot of your hours just to reinstall the Windows. Suppose a user just returned back the device, he or she is leaving the company. We log in from our IT help account that has full privileges on the machine. We go to settings, we go to recovery, and we simply click and reach here. We simply click reset this PC and then local reinstall. That's it. Now, suppose the local image was 6 month old. So yes, the auto patch will patch it up as well. So, but if you click this option, yes, it's gonna waste 4 hours, 3 or 4 hours, but it's gonna be the new image. But that I need to still confirm that is it installing latest image, which if it's in the cloud, I think it is. We don't go for this option a lot because it wastes a lot of time. And yeah, we have auto patching enabled, so we know that even if it's a local reinstall is an older image, we will be doing patching anyway, right? So you can use all that time here, or you can use uh, um, comparatively lesser time here because you still have to install image patches, and when you're installing patches, you're actually installing something else as well, software and everything, right? So yeah, it's coming from the company as well anyway. So it's your choice then. What do you go for? If we go back here, uh, Windows licensing requirements, yeah. Windows Autopilot network, create a Windows VM for Autopilot. So to get started with Windows Autopilot, you can try it out with a virtual machine, or you can use a physical device that will be wiped and then have a fresh install of Windows 10 and 11. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. And you can either enable Hyper-V or VMware Workstation. So I have VMware Workstation. I'm using VMware Workstation. I have installed 10 Pro. The machine is not joined to any domain and can communicate to internet. Yes, my machine is also ready, kind of thing. But he actually logged in directly and he's preparing the machine first. Capture the hardware ID. In this step, we will capture the hardware ID of Windows 10 VM. This will be later uploaded in Intune portal. On the client VM, open an elevated Windows PowerShell prompt and run the following commands. So, hardware ID has to be provided to Intune. Okay, what does that mean? So this device's hardware ID is needed, and Intune has to be given that this particular device is being installed, and Autopilot, there is no random device that is coming. Suppose you have 20 devices here, 20 laptops. You have to take out the hardware ID of each device and tell it or give it to Autopilot. So Intune must be given and this is the same for SCCM as well. Hardware ID, or actually MAC address as well. You can just use MAC address as well for that. Intune must be given hardware ID of the device that it will um, manage via Autopilot. In fact, Autopilot needs that hardware ID. So this is a security precaution as well. That hey, you want to install a machine, any machine. So we must know that which machine are you installing. Is it the same virtual machine Autopilot is handling, whose hardware ID you gave, or Autopilot will not go random with any machine. Oh, I'm available, automating everything. You first register the hardware ID, give it to Intune. If that hardware ID is there, then Autopilot will connect to the machine and compare the hardware ID. Oh yeah, this is the machine I need to Autopilot. Okay, let me do that. So hardware ID has to be there. That said, let's go visit our Intune and let's check out if Autopilot, where is Autopilot in Intune, right? Okay, there's a question here by Rafael. In my office, we just add a CSV file from the device to the Intune, yeah, and reset the machine after 15 minutes. Then it points to Autopilot. We then box the machine and send it to users. Exactly. So CSV file has to have uh, the hardware ID added. In fact, this article actually shows that the creation procedure of that CSV file, and hardware ID either we can give it this way and to Intune, or we can there's another way to give it as well, which I'm using in my office. But yes, with CSV you can also give, and you have to just run those PowerShell commands, and it says when you prompt it to install NuGet package, yes, yeah. So it's just grabbing the hardware ID. After you run the commands, you will see the gather details for device with serial number, and yeah, and then you create a CSV. Finally, we have the Autopilot hardware ID.csv file in the hardware ID directory that is about 8 KB in size. The file contains the complete 4K hardware or HH. So this is the CSV file that we get when we run this, script here, the whole script, and generate your own CSV file for Autopilot. You can just, if the OEM partner does not provide a CSV file, you can generate a, so OEM partner or whoever provided that laptop, I mean, you run the PowerShell script, it does not create that CSV, then you can create CSV yourself as well. So yeah, he has given all the procedure. Um, how I do it in my company is a bit different. We do not I didn't have to go through hardware ID, but yes, we need to provide Intune the hardware ID of the machine. So is there another way? I do it not this way, I do it another way as well. But yes, there is another way. So now guys, I wanted to also ask a question here until the solution gets going. Yeah, the question is, um, where is autopilot in our Intune, right? Where's autopilot in our Intune? Okay, let me make it a bigger main question here. So we are deploying, we're configuring a machine on the end user side. In fact, it's kind of ready, but where is autopilot in our engine? So if I go back here and go to our environment and go to Intune actually. So this is Entra ID and I'll go to portal.office.com, portal.office.com. Um, all about experience, group. Yeah, it's still opening as soon. Yeah. And then I'll go to Intune. Yeah. So if I go to this admin, so show all, endpoint manager, devices, and yeah, that link I was showing about Microsoft. Let's go to that link as well. Microsoft Mechanics also show that deploy Windows 10 without pilot. Okay, so here, device enrollment is here, provisioning is here. By when I click the devices, right? So autopilot should be showing in this area, right? So it's not showing right now. If I go to enroll devices, so it says Windows Autopilot deployment program. So deployment profiles need to be created. Intune connector for Active Directory. Configure Microsoft Entra hybrid joins. This is hybrid join. We don't need that. So there are some configurations that need to be done, and for that, deployment profile we have created already, right? Windows Autopilot deployment program. But now that was for regular installations, but now we need to install it for Autopilot as well. So if I go inside the deployment profiles, Autopilot config is there. Um, and Windows PC, we have created it already, right? If I just take you to this slide, yeah, this. So deploying Windows 11 Autopilot, let's go through Microsoft specific. Windows Autopilot is a modern cloud-based deployment process. Now create an Autopilot profile. We're gonna do that first, right? So, but I want you to go through the Microsoft as well, the procedures, start guided simulation. So first we go there. It says, it actually shows you the guided simulation. Go to Azure Active Directory, and it says Windows Autopilot is a collection of technologies. So it's not just one area. You have to go to multiple areas to configure stuff here. Windows Autopilot is a collection of technologies used to set up and provision devices to get them ready for productive. Alan Dioang, Control Society, and Global Admin wants to create a new autopilot profile. So we did that, but how Microsoft does it to deploy new devices. Before he does this, he makes sure the employees have the correct licenses assigned to them from Microsoft Admin Center, Azure Active Directory. I'm just going to click that next. what he does is goes through the user and Windows 11 Enterprise Windows uses this. Alan wants to ensure new PCs deployed with Autopilot are automatically upgraded and enrolled in Endpoint Manager. We kind of achieved that already. So he goes to groups. This is what Microsoft is showing. Alan needs to assign licenses to the US sales group. Okay, we did that already. That we have created a security group. So basically, you need a uh, to assign licenses. Our users already have E5, so I'm just gonna go faster here. Assignment, but I'm just showing you also that how detailed Microsoft is when it comes to Autopilot. I haven't seen this kind of lab for any other technology that the Microsoft is explaining. I mean, like Autopilot, they're explaining. So they're saying that configure those licenses that we need. And so I'm just going a bit faster here because we have already E5 licenses. In Endpoint Manager, Alan updates the information worker profile, which is used to configure Autopilot devices for information workers at Contoso on the left side. So this is the first setting we have already done, right? Licenses are given already. If we go for um, the rest of it, so okay, here, yeah. Then we go to devices. It's going for devices. And why is it going for devices? The devices overview page presents a quick view of all devices under management and any enrollment failures. Obviously, this is where we were already. If I go next here, then we go to Windows enrollment and then deployment profile. So this is the step that we will be doing, although we have done it before for a regular Intune working. Now we will do it for Autopilot working. So Windows enrollment section and then create a profile. And it says that allow IT administrators to determine the deployment mode and customize the out-of-box experience, OOBE. So how will the first time Windows manage starts for users or installation starts for the admins, how that experience should be. So Windows PC, yes, that's where I was just now. And it says that go to this information workers, just go for any and type any name. Alan enables the convert all targeted devices to autopilot. Last time we did not do this. We kept it to no. Actually, let me show you. Now this is Microsoft's um, experiment lab going on, right? If I just drag it aside, our current profile is this. If I click that, I hope I did not press yes to autopilot because at the first time we were regularly configuring Intune, so definitely our autopilot was not something that we were supposed to click. If it shows in the properties, yeah, see, convert all target devices to autopilot. So it's no. So first I showed you without autopilot settings. So now this is my environment and I'm going to deployment profiles. And here I need to go to actually create profile. So I'm going to show back this Microsoft slide. In fact, yeah, this is good. I hope it is. Uh, this is my environment. This is my environment. This is what Microsoft is talking about, right? So it says that Alan enables the convert all targeted devices to autopilot. This time we're targeting it to convert this to autopilot. So yeah, if it looks a bit weird, then I'll just change it to full screen. But Windows PC, if I go there, so yeah, this is what I'm creating. This is what Microsoft is talking about, right? So it says, so I'm gonna go for CEA autopilot. Um, well, okay. So you can just put any name here. Control A, Control C, Control V. And yes. So now I'm gonna put yes here. By default, this profile can only be applied to autopilot devices synced from the autopilot service. So and it says here, select yes to register all targeted devices to autopilot if they are not already registered. The next time registered devices go through the Windows out of the box experience, when you're reimaging them, they will go through the assigned autopilot scenario. So whatever we are about to assign, next time the devices will go through that scenario. Please note that certain autopilot scenarios require specific minimum builds of Windows. You cannot run autopilot on older versions of Windows or builds of Windows 10, older ones, right? Also, please make sure your device has the required minimum build to go through the scenario. Removing this profile won't remove affected devices from autopilot. So removing was the pain in the neck for me. But I was doing something else all the time, so I didn't do that Google search. To remove a device from autopilot, use the Windows Autopilot Devices view. Actually, it doesn't work from there as well, but I showed you that Prajwal Desai's website. It actually, he went through that process, and I'll check that on Monday, hopefully, that how to remove autopilot devices. We have pretty much all our devices on autopilot now. Anyway, so we are enabling autopilot this time. Um, okay, I want you to see this screen with bigger fonts. So yes, I pressed yes here. I'm gonna alt tab back to my environment, which is this. There's it. Uh, okay. So I'll just switch back. Now Microsoft is saying press yes. So in my area, I pressed yes. Then I go to Microsoft and click next. And it says, oh yeah, click next. Okay, next. Now it says that for autopilot purpose, you need to do these settings. We may have done for regular ones as well, but this time the only difference is that in the first screen, we selected autopilot. Okay, this profile is a user-driven profile that will require the recipients of the device to log in to add the device to Azure AD. Employees will not have to confirm licensing agreements or choose privacy settings and will be set to standard users. Yeah, I mean, some of the things we already did. Um, so it says Microsoft software license terms, hide. If I go there, I'll click next in my area. Yeah, it's already on hide. Okay. The profile is a user-driven profile. Yes, it is a user-driven profile. What is the other one? Self-deploying. It's still in preview. It's not ready for commercial use. Um, Join the Microsoft Entra ID. What does it say here? Yes. Oh, Azure ID joined. We're not going to do that because this Microsoft lab refers to a company that has on-premises Active Directory as well as Cloud Azure Entra ID. We only have Cloud Azure Entra ID. We don't have on premises. So that's why my setting here is Entra join only. The other setting is Entra hybrid. I don't have hybrid. I don't have on premises, or I don't want to go that way. So then, yeah, software license is hidden. This is okay. And let me, I think I shared this link already. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so here I'm going to click next. Then it says that so hide change account options, hide. So if I go for change account option, privacy setting is hidden, change account option is hidden already. Okay, what else? Allow pre-provision deployment. Yes. Next, allow pre-provision deployment. What is it? Oh, allow pre-provision deployment. This one. Before that, I think this is a newer one. Hide change account options. Yeah, hide. User counts type, it will be standard. So enable pressing Windows key 5 times to run OOB without user authentication. Okay, that's what I do. So guys, this here allow pre-provisioned deployment. This is another autopilot setting that I want to show. Uh, what happens is that I press a key during the Windows at certain stage, and it allows me to get the hardware ID of the device, hardware ID of the device, and upload it to Intune. So I'm saying that yes, I want to go for allow pre-provision deployment, where I will manually try to upload the hardware ID of the this machine to Intune, or we can do CSV way as well. Language region is yeah, I'm gonna go to Microsoft again. Oh, next to allow pre-provisioned. Okay, and there's next. Then it says language is English United States. I mean, like, oh yeah, we can change that. Operating system default, or yeah, let's just go for English. Oh, it did not select that. Okay, English Canada. There's English Canada as well, right? Okay, so automatically configured keyboard. So I'm just gonna click next, and it says here, yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, select that. Go, go, go. And then it says automatically configured keyboard. Now here it asks for keyboard choices. We can skip that too. Alan wants Autopilot to rename the device specific to the assigned machine category in the device profile to ensure that this Alan sets apply device name template. Oh, what are we talking about? Oh, okay. It's yes here. uh, pre-provisioned he's still talking about. So this makes it easier to know which policies are applied to the device based on its name. So giving the name at that time before the installation starts, I'm going to show you that option actually, but it's explaining all that anyway, that you want to give a device name at that time or not. Right click, select the open and link tab, and it needs to. Okay, so this I already did. Pressed yes to this. And then it goes down to the device name here as well. So how do you want automatically the device name to be given? Sorry, I should have gone for mute here. Yeah, feeling bad. I think from office, um, I caught something, and yeah, hopefully it digitally does not transfer to you, the thing. Okay, sorry. Yeah. Oh yeah, this is the device name template here. It's saying yes. If I press yes here, I can go for, in fact, we configured that too already. Um, so company name can be this. So it's pretty much this formula. Whatever you type, this would be the number. And what do you type here? Use the percent rand and colon. So whatever, if you put some number here and my company. So if I go for percent rand colon here. So if I click here, CEA dash. Um, Now you want to put 01, 02, 03, 04, or you want to put serial there, right? So so percent rand colon. I want 01, 02. So I'm gonna go for 2 digits here. So it's gonna start with 01, 02, 03 onwards, right? 10%. Okay. But CEA, Cloud Engineers Academy, or whatever your company name abbreviations are, you go for that. Yeah. So that's just the devices should have some kind of name. Automatically configured keyboard, yes. Apply device name template, yes. Okay, we did all that. And then group from here, Alan can add groups under included and excluded groups. So if I go for add group, sales group was created and added here. So sales group is added. I'm gonna add that those guys. Well, I'm gonna then go for new guys there and add them to the group. I'll go to my configurations here. If I click next here, it's asking for a group, but I wanted to. Okay, thank God. Press escape. Okay, I want a bigger window. Okay, so yeah, I want to create a group now, right? So I'm gonna go to enterprise. So I'm gonna go to Enter ID. In fact, I'll go to my admin center, the headquarters, and check what groups are there. Okay, font size. And teams and groups. I need to actually add two Intune ready users here as well. So I'm gonna check that what Intune ready users I've already added in that Intune group. Oh, I can't see that Intune group again. So distribution list, was it distribution list, marketing? No, security groups were there. Yeah. Intune Windows device. I already created that group and two users were already added. I want to create another group called Autopilot, group, suppose, right? So I want to know which users are in this group. So I want to add some other users to that Autopilot group, right? I'm going to go inside and I'm going to click members. So I see Amy Lawrence, Megan Bowen, and Nestor Wilk. Oh, really? Okay. So that's three users already. Amy, Megan, Nestor are already there. I'll go for some other users and make sure their licenses are there. And they are actually licensed. So Enterprise Mobility plus E5, Alex, and then there are many others here. Okay, if I go for, oh, that's, 390 users thing has really, if I need to filter these, filter, uh, billing admins, licensed users, okay. Just show me licensed users because we have only 25 licenses, right? Umbreen Berry, oh, we have a lot of users. Grady Archie, I don't see that user there, so one is Grady Archie, um, and I need his whole configuration. So Grady Archie for Autopilot. For Autopilot group, we'll go for next set of users. Grady Archie, I need his username and password. So user principal name, I got it. I'm resetting his password, and whatever the password is, I'll just grab that. And I'll put it here in, okay. So Notepad, one user is there. I'll close that. Actually, I just need one user because I have one machine. Henrietta Muller. So I'll go for this user as well. And reset password. It will give me the username password. Yeah. Okay. Control C, Control V. Okay. So I got two users for Autopilot group now. Grady A and Henrietta. I'll go back here and actually here, I need to create a group now. Security group, definitely. So I can do it from admin center. I can do it from Entra ID as well. Some of the common tasks are in admin center already. I'm going to go for groups, security groups I want to create, add a security group, right? And then go for Autopilot users and devices. You can just name it that as well. Control A, Control C, and Control V here. Description also I put the same thing or something else in a production environment. Role assignment, I don't want to assign any privilege to this group and the users that are added. So I'm not assigning any role here like admin role, global admin, or application admin. I'm not assigning anything. Next. And then basics, settings, role assignment disabled. Yeah, I'm not giving any role. Group type is this, basic is this. And oh, it didn't let me add users. Where's the members? I didn't add. Okay. So yeah, and when we create this group here, so first it asks to create a group, then we go inside the group and add members. So Autopilot users and devices. I create this group. Add another security group. No. Now I need to know where's that Autopilot. Okay, I'll just refresh that. Auto refresh. Autopilot users and devices, right? And I'll add myself as group owner. Somebody has to be added. Add owners. I'm an admin. And add one. And members. Okay, now I need that member there because I need to use those guys for Autopilot. Grady, yeah, it's there. And Henry Ara. So add one is there, so I can just add the second one as well, I guess. Henrietta Miller. Okay, you can see that second is also added. Two are added here. So I'll just click the add button now. You can keep on adding more and more and more in the same screen. Start off first add one, then go back and add second, and then go back add third. Okay, so we're good. Now Autopilot users group is created. And what I was configuring here, so Autopilot users group is there. Add groups, I'm just gonna go, oh, that's Microsoft regale.cloud, Microsoft. This is the Microsoft lab, wow. So yeah, I was here actually, and I was configuring something here. Yeah, create profile here. Okay, so my group is ready. I'm just gonna add that group. So we create autopilot profile, and we are adding a group to it. Still thinking, okay, autopilot select. Okay, autopilot uses. Okay, so here, yeah, these are the settings for autopilot. The main thing is that we pressed yes here, right? So it's a bit different now. So I'm gonna click create, but before that, I'll go to Microsoft what it says in the next step. Obviously, it has configured. Yes, autopilot is here. Yes, and then I'm gonna go for uh, autopilot here, and yes, the autopilot deployment profile is created. So I'm gonna just quickly create the autopilot deployment profile. So CEA autopilot it is created, refresh, and yeah, CEA autopilot. Really, the other one I should have named something else, but anyway, CEA autopilot is there. Now I'm gonna go for what Microsoft says here in the lab. If we go click and enroll devices. So as part of the autopilot experience, Alan wants the enrollment status page on employees' devices to appear during device setup. So as the setup continues, there should be a process showing that, hey, there's a process going on and the device is getting configured, right? Enrollment status page. So then it goes here. So where is this? Windows enrollment. If I go to my environment, so if I go to devices and then enroll devices, and then enroll notifications or enroll status page, right? I'll switch to Microsoft, what it's saying, enroll status page, and next. So enroll status page, select all users and all devices. So give status of autopilot deployment to all users and all devices. That's what it's saying. Okay, I mean, it's there. So all users and devices. So we can use it. This is my environment. So it's already there, selected. It's already there by Microsoft as well. So if I go here, properties, it still goes inside all users and devices and settings, edit. Oh yeah, seriously. There are a lot of settings here. And then it clicks edit and it says show app and profile configuration progress. Okay. So that's what it wants. And it's actually by default no, that do not show users. So I'm gonna have to go inside my area as well. I'm gonna go to properties here as well. Show app and profile configuration progress. No. So I'm gonna turn it to yes. So when Autopilot is configuring something, it's gonna actually show that Autopilot is working. So yes. Now what Microsoft says, when I press yes, it's gonna go for all this. So these are some of the recommendations there. To learn more about these settings, blah blah. Right, select the link and then select open link in the new tab. Now what does it say? When you're showing the user what else you want to configure, you're telling the user, hey, Autopilot is right now at work, right? Show an error when installation takes longer than specified number of minutes. So if it takes 1 hour or more, then there will be an error shown that, hey, it's taking too much time. Show custom messages when the time limit or error occurs. Setup could not be completed. Please try again or contact your support help person for help. Or you know, I could just add here um, email tech support at cea.ca. Suppose that's the email. You can just customize it, basically. Turn on log collection and diagnostic. Yes, I would want log collection, that what happened, why the error occurred. Only show page to devices provisioned by out-of-the-box experience. uh, Show this page to those devices where OOBE is being configured. So device is being configured perfectly uh, to show the normal experience to the end user. Block device use until all apps and profiles are installed. So users cannot just start using the device as soon as the user sees, oh, it's logged in already. Let me start using it. Suppose in the background applications are being installed, so we could block the user until then. So user is clicking, clicking, clicking something and no, hey, why it's not working? Because there is some silent installation going on. Maybe MS Office is being installed. So you're trying to double click MS Word. Oh, I want to work now. So MS Office is being installed and it's gonna give errors and user will start create a ticket. The user will waste the time of desktop support guy, and desktop support guy will waste your time that, hey admin, what happened? So just cut the whole thing short, like just block the user from working. Even the user sees a desktop area, the user won't be able to work until everything is installed in the background. If you just put it in front of the user that whenever it finishes, you can start working if you want to do that. If it's in front of admin, yeah, it's still okay. Allow users to reset device if installation error occurs. Allow users to reset device. Now, users are not supposed to do anything, right? So obviously they cannot reset the whole device to factory defaults. Any user can do that. Suppose the device actually may have very harmless error and you can even skip it and the whole installation will be successful, but the user decided to reset. So yeah, it's never the call of the user. Allow users to use device if installation error occurs. No way user should be using a device if error occurs during the installation. This means that device is not even ready yet during the installation error occurs, right? Block device use until required apps are installed if they are assigned to the user device. Yeah, I mean, for all the users, the device should be blocked. That's it. Until all the applications are being configured. So yeah, that's okay. I'm gonna switch back to what Microsoft says. And yeah, it's kind of, it says click. Yeah, and the settings are okay. So I'm gonna click review plus save and save. Okay, guys, let's take a break here and come back in 12:36, 46:56, and then continue with. So the configurations are long, but not very long, but long enough. So uh, if we go through that once, obviously, then uh, for longer term, it saves a lot of your time. So break class starts 12:57. Pausing and muting. The video. Okay. Okay, so hopefully you're able to see my screen. And I was going through the installation. Excuse me. So we have created as autopilot profile. So if we track that progress, um, here where's about Intune, or autopilot config. So create an autopilot profile, excuse me, and then create a group with some members, some Intune ready, Intune licensed. We should just switch to the stick to the terminology. Intune licensed users. And then we were going through enroll status. So that's the third screen, enroll status, configuration. So yeah, we're being done with that too. So I'll just first check our configuration, changes saved here. So enrollment status is there, and yeah, it was configured. Alan wants Windows 11 devices to be. So this is Microsoft page or the step-by-step process. 11 devices to be automatically enrolled in Intune once the employee signs into Azure Active Directory. Yeah, we did configure that. So at the top, select enroll devices. It shows that too, enroll devices. Users should be automatically enrolled to, and device should be automatically enrolled to Intro ID or Azure Active Directory. I'm going to click next. And now it's going to automatic enrollment. Now this we have configured already, but that new security group we did not add. In fact, the previous configurations autopilot deployment profile. I think this is for the whole organization, but I have to check that the security group that I created after deployment profile. I mean, during the deployment profile, if it asked for security group, did I add it there or not? So I'll just check now that in my configuration. So if I go to my configuration quickly, device enrollment, and this is enroll devices in the devices. Excuse me. Oh man, really bad. Enroll devices, and then deployment profile. We created autopilot profile, CEA autopilot. So did it ask for a security group, and did I give the correct security group? So included groups are autopilot users and devices. Yeah. Oh yeah. So I created at that time. So that's good. Then we went for enrollment status page. This is all users anyway, so I didn't need to add that security group here in enrollment status page. Now we're going for enroll devices, and then I'm going to follow. So it says automatic enrollment. Now automatic enrollment is something, so enroll devices here. And if I go up, automatic enrollment here. All users are already, actually some are added here. So that's good that I visited this one. All we may not need to select because there are those service accounts as well. That looks like user accounts, but service accounts, they don't need to have those policies. So when we go to Windows enrollment, if I go back to Microsoft step-by-step process, so it actually says all. MDM user scope defines which users can enroll their devices into Intune as part of the automatic enrollment process. Yeah, they're doing that, but I'm gonna just add the security group. Okay, so I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna go on my and it's already on some, and there's one group already added. I'm gonna add this Autopilot group here as well for mobile device management Autopilot feature. And it's Autopilot here. Select. I'll go for the other one as well. So it's MAM, mobile application management. Later, we would need applications to be deployed to this other group as well. So I'll just add that other group now, or to select and save. Excuse me. So now I'm switching back to Microsoft, and it's going to go for the next. So with features updates for Windows 10 and later, Alan can select the Windows feature update version that he wants devices to be on. This can be used to upgrade devices shipped from the OEM with Windows 10 or Windows 11. He wants employees to be on Windows 11. So select feature updates for Windows 10 and later. So what it's doing actually is remember that Microsoft had offered a free upgrade from Windows 10 to 11, and that was a feature update. Not only that, here Microsoft is, this procedure is enabling patching process for any new operating system. I mean, like the new operating system that the user will log in. So we have to patch it, right? Put all the updates. But also it's saying that if uh, there's a feature update available by Microsoft that you can upgrade from Windows 10 to 11 free. So that will also be offered in the Autopilot process for Windows 10. So not only upgrade from 10 to 11, but also patching, which is monthly updates that already we do. So it's doing two things in one, but basically it's coming down for patching here. Obviously, we need to automatically update, install Microsoft patches, which are released monthly, right? We need to install that too. So it's coming there down there for that. So it says that feature updates for Windows 10. Okay, I'll just go to my lab and go there. Devices. In the devices area, one day, Monday or Sunday, it's going to show. And that's feature updates for Windows 10 and later, right? And if I click that, I go back here and next. So Aaron will add a group to the information workers profile. Yeah, we need to just add that group that we created for Autopilot users, that those Autopilot users will be receiving patches for Windows as well. So I'm going to click next. It's just going to properties and then going to edit assignment where it says included groups. And if I click next, yeah, this is the same process, just add the group. So the patching could start for the Autopilot users. Next, yeah, it did that. I'm just going to do that now in my environment. So Windows feature updates for Windows 10 and later. I'm going to create, first I have to create a profile. We recommend turning on features that use Windows Diagnostic Data for your tenant, but they're not on. This allows you to see detailed update status in reports so that you can review deployment progress and so okay. Okay, so I'm gonna go for Autopilot, CA Autopilot users. Yeah, I'll just keep the naming convention same. Users and devices patching and Control A, Control C, and Control V. And then go for when a device isn't capable of running Windows 11, install the latest Windows 10 feature update. Yes, some hardware is not compatible with Windows 11. So instead, just go for that. Oh, actually, it's not. Some selected capabilities require specific licensing. Okay, so it's not letting me select that. But anyway, rollout options. Make update available as soon as possible. Make update available on a specific date. Yeah, you can schedule that update as well. But yeah, I'll just stick to available. Make update available as soon as possible. Okay, next. Yes, I need to assign it to the same group. Add groups. Autopilot groups. Okay, select. So same users who are being configured for Autopilot are also being configured for patching. Next, next. Updated successfully. Okay, so that's configured users for patching. Yeah, that's what we did. Configuration. Config. Excuse me. Users for patching. Okay, we did that. And if we go back to what Microsoft is telling us to do, now that the US sales group has been added to the profile, Alan reviews his changes, select review plus save. Yeah, we added already. And select save. So it says here, Windows features updates policies work with the update rings for Windows 10 and later policies, preventing a device from receiving Windows feature versions later than the value specified in the feature update policy. So it just says here, and it wants to configure BitLocker on devices as well. So yeah. Permission, right select the link and then select open link in view. Yeah, if you want to know more about this, what we did just now. Now it goes to endpoint security and disk encryption because it wants automatically BitLocker to be configured. Now that's where our virtual machine is, so it's going to be a little, you know, messy. So I'm gonna go back to endpoint security now. As long as you're adding the security group to services, different services, it's gonna keep on working. So if I go to disk encryption and create a policy, so I'm gonna go back to Microsoft here and next, and then create a policy. BitLocker is a data protection feature that integrates with the operating system and addresses threats of data theft from lost, stolen, or inappropriately decommissioned computers. To start, Alan first creates an endpoint security policy for BitLocker from Endpoint Manager. Next, then create a profile pane actually, and then Windows 10 and later select that. Yeah, the whole process. Then he sets the profile to BitLocker. And yeah, and select BitLocker. So I'm going to reach here now. And then it says just simply select. So create. I'll go for this to create policy here. Windows 10 and later, it's not Mac OS, BitLocker, and I'll click the create button. So now it's going to start the wizard. And obviously, I'll then go for the Microsoft and check that, what it wants. Yeah, it's going to put some name here. Then it says next. Then it says what you want to do. Guys, we have, okay, CEA Autopilot users and the devices, BitLocker policy. So I'm checking with the naming convention, but the thing is that if we go ahead and configure that, the problem is that we have a virtual machine that BitLocker does not is not taken by virtual machine. So in our particular scenario, it's going to be a bit tricky to get the BitLocker working. I think Windows 11 does take it, but Windows 10 does not. So in that case, we may even remove the requirement. Right now, we're just configuring everything, but we may have to come back here to remove this requirement just for our virtual machine, or unless it is upgraded to Windows 11 later, if that option is available in feature updates. So this is endpoint security and disk encryption. That's the next stage. So endpoint security, disk encryption. Control use BitLocker on removable drives. Deny write access to removable drives not protected by BitLocker, not configured. So yeah, you can just make it very strict environment, or you don't have to if you don't want to. Fixed data drive, the drive C drive, and suppose there's a E drive there as well. So enforce drive encryption type on fixed data drives. Like if it was a physical machine, I would go yes, 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 yes. But it's not a physical machine, so it's we know that virtual machine may not take it. Choose how BitLocker protected. Fixed drives can be recovered. We already have some policies that are implementing BitLocker, but this is when autopilot, a device goes through autopilot process, then how BitLocker should be deployed. Deny write access to fixed drives not protected by BitLocker. Windows components, BitLocker drive encryption, operating system drives, enforce drive encryption type on operating system drive, C drive, right? Require additional authentication at startup, configure minimum pin length for startup. Actually, I did not configure anything because if I require BitLocker, my machine will not work. If it is upgraded to 11, I'll come back here and enable BitLocker in that case. But I'll check the BitLocker setting. In fact, it's also not. So required device encryption. Obviously, we need to require device encryption, right? But just for the virtual machine, because it's not going to take it, I'm just keeping it not configured now, but we can always come back here and just simply change it to require, right? Next. And there's a device scope, but we haven't created any scopes. Suppose I go for select scope here. So search name or this. So scope has to be created first, but right now it's not. If you go to assignment, yeah, it's those same autopilot members group. I think it's a 2-class lab, because there are settings here that would still need time. Okay, so BitLocker related configuration is added to the security group, which is dedicated for autopilot, but BitLocker itself is not enabled because of which machine. Oops, it actually failed it. So technical details, click for technical details. It actually didn't like that. Hey, you didn't configure anything. I mean, how dare you? So it's asking me that. Failed to create policy, try again later. It didn't give the reason as well. Yeah, done. Included groups. 0 devices, 2 users. Yeah, I mean, like I didn't configure anything. Okay, let me configure something. Maybe it will allow us to configure control use BitLocker on removable devices. Enable. Allow users to apply BitLocker protection on removable data drives. Okay, true. Enforce driving. So if anyone connects a USB to the laptop, then configure BitLocker on it, and users can do that. That's what I'm enabling. I'm just enabling one thing. We're not going to be attaching USB to our virtual machines. Enforce drive encryption type on removable data drives. Allow users to suspend and decrypt BitLocker protection on removable data drives. Okay, anyway, next. And hopefully, oh, now it is created. So we had to configure something. Otherwise, yeah, what's the use of creating a policy? So if I go back to what Microsoft says here, um, yeah, so something we configured, but it is configuring more stuff there. I did configure a lot of stuff in my production environment, but here, obviously, and yeah, yeah, with Autopilot, we have to configure encryption. So yeah, I did that in production environment because we have actual laptops, not virtual machines. So BitLocker policy is also configured. Now it says that Ellen wants to further customize devices upon startup by removing the new chat icon from the taskbar in Windows 11 devices. So you want to suppress some more options there, then you can do that too. And it navigates to configuration profiles and creates a new profile. Now, I also configured some of the things that my organization actually needed. Excuse me. And so I'm looking on my other side where Autopilot device test. Okay, yeah, that was test. I'm just checking some of the settings that I did, which were required in my company. Create profile, disk encryption I did, yeah. And configuration profiles, I went for identity protection, Windows Hello policies, okay. And in identity protection, I went for enable pin recovery, TPM, and then went for Windows apps later. Okay. So anyway, what it's saying is you want to control some of the configurations there for Windows Hello, then you can check those out. So if I go here next and create profile for configuration profiles, so whichever configuration profile you add the security group for Autopilot, obviously that configuration profile will work with Autopilot users only. So platform and Windows 10 and later, and profile type, the description, and then settings, catalog, preview, and then uh, it goes for profile. So I'm just gonna go back here and oh man, seriously, why did it? Oh, that it went just really back. 97. Oh, okay. I kind of Let me switch to 13. Can it be P? Yeah, that was feature update. Okay. Think a few hundred more steps. 50. Disk encryption. What about 70? Create profile. Okay. Devices. And when that updates the information worker, which is used to configure Autopilot devices for information workers that oh, it went sorry. What? Okay, 65. I'll just go check. So if I go back, it's gonna go to the start. That's a bad idea about this. Endpoint security, and we have configured BitLocker. Okay. So I'll just quickly go ahead. I think it's finished. That's why 97. No, it's on 97. Yeah, I created a group, and that group is done as well. Create profile. This is BitLocker profile. and disk encryption. I was not checking the numbers then. Think we're done with this, and there's another one. Yeah, configuration profile. So I'm gonna go to configuration profile, then I'm gonna select platform. So I'm gonna switch to my lab. I'll go to devices. So yeah, Autopilot is not easy. I mean, it took me some time to configure the whole thing and test. So configuration profiles. This is any type of setting you want to put there, like block this, block that, or don't show this, don't show that. You can go to every nick and corner and start configuring policies. That's the point here. So new policy and Windows 10 and later, and then templates. Um, and if I go back to Microsoft, so it's, yeah, 10 and later, template, select profile type, settings, actually, it went there, and settings catalog, then it's starting creating. Okay. So I'll go for settings catalog and I'll click create. So that's the setting for disabling chat icon. Okay. So auto pilot, CEA autopilot. CA autopilot. Um, Users and devices. CA autopilot users and devices. And that is disable chat icon in Win 11, although this is on Windows 12 going on, but just giving an idea about, hey, there are so many settings that you can mess with or change. If I go next, Windows settings catalog, next. So then it takes us, that's a pretty long list. So you have to know exactly where you're going. From the settings picker, Alan chooses the appropriate settings, experience, and configure chat icon, right? So if I go to add settings, XPRIENZ, experience, enter. Excuse me. It's experience in the settings speaker and then chat icon. So I have to look for, because this word is, oh, there is experience. And so allow Cortana or disable Cortana, what you want to allow, you can just really, so configure chat icon is there. What do you mean configure chat icon? Is there a disable chat icon? So disable cloud optimized content, disable consumer account stat content, do not show feedback notification, do not sync browser settings, enable delivery, show lock on user tile, prevent users from turning on browser syncing. So we can prevent a lot of setting here. Configure chat icon is there, but I think the older setting, oh yeah, it is showing configure chat, I'm sorry. I'll just click next. And once configure chart icon is there, select the configure chart icon drop down. There's a drop down that it shows. So if I go next, uh, so there's a drop down here, right? Uh, hey, where's next here? There's, oh, if I go previous, it starts from next, and filter experience, configure chart icon, okay. Oh, when you add it, then it appears here, chart icon. Okay, so create chart icon selected. Alan can determine if the chart icon is showing hidden or disabled. Select the chart. Okay. So this is selected, but there's no save here. So it's showing on the other side. So I'm just going to close this from here and just disable it. But we can go through then disabling so much else here. It's just one example here, disable, and then next. And then which group? Obviously, our autopilot group. That's the only one. So 3 users are added there. So we are trying to configure long list of stuff here. Excuse me. So yeah, we're gonna continue configuring it in next class as well, Autopilot. But ideal situation is it should be done in one go. But still, CA device restrictions. Okay, Autopilot. Yeah, see Autopilot users. So this is just disable chat icon, right? If I go to Microsoft, then it's 91. So 90, done. So go. 94, 95, 96, and create, yeah, 97. So select next to experience how Alan configures Windows Hello for Business policies for Autopilot. Yeah, this is what I also configured. And for Windows Hello, you have to create another configuration profile. And there you can actually tell that, hey, which icons in Hello I don't want, because the biometric settings also appear there, that you want to configure Face ID or fingerprints, right? We do not want to show them Face ID or fingerprints. And from this, I get to know that I realized that biometric there was a policy in our company that biometrics are not allowed. But yeah, my junior admin was actually doing that still. And I caught him, but I forgot to tell him, hey, why are you doing this? Anyway, it says Windows Hello. So it's just 19 steps. We're going to create another profile now, configuration profile. I'm going to attach it to Autopilot. Did I record the previous one? Disk encryption. Then disable chat icon by creating a configuration profile. Okay, so I'll just go ahead, Windows 10 and later, and select a profile. This time it's templates and identity protection. So I'm just gonna go there, and I'm in the configuration profile already, devices, and then go down configuration profile, and then create new policy, and Windows 10 and later, templates, and then you have to go down to identity protection, because Windows Hello comes during the installation and it asks for, hey, you want to put a Face ID, PIN, or fingerprints. So I'll select this identity protection, and I selected this. Yeah. So identity protection, select it, and then click create, and then go ahead and put Windows Hello for Business policy. Okay. So identity protection I select and then click create. Excuse me. We have to still stick with our conversion here. Okay, sorry. Going through this thing. Sorry again. Yeah. I don't know why I just did not mute the mic. CEA Autopilot, users and devices. Because there's so many policies that we create that we have to really follow up which one was which. So your naming convention has to be very, very clear. Windows Hello policies. Okay, next. And use security keys for sign in. I'm just going to go back here. What Windows tells us to do, Microsoft Intune Wizard. Configure Windows Hello for Business, not configured. Here, Alan enables configure Windows for Business. So if we click next, enable Windows Hello for Business, and now you can see so many policies here. So Windows Hello for Business, we enable that. And it's all about PIN, as well as biometric authentication, right? Let's see what Microsoft did, and then I'll show you what I did in my company. So it says here, Alan provides a minimum pin length and a maximum pin length. In our company, it's minimum 8 characters have to be there, as well as other allowed characters such as lowercase and uppercase letters. So um, okay, so I'm just going to uh, go ahead. So what it says is 6 and 10 and allowed pin uppercase, lowercase letters. It went for and then enable pin recovery as well. So I'm going to change it to 8 minimum letters and maximum 12, and then allowed lowercase and uppercase and special characters. Yes, that is very good. So we can secure the whole thing like this. So, well, what I did in my company, I'm just putting it here, 8, 12, lowercase allowed, obviously, and uppercase allowed, but not required. You can see also there's a required one. You can actually make it required as well. Special characters in pin, yeah, we're allowing that too. And pin can expire. Actually, this is configured, but yes, we did the expire of pin as well. So we mean, yeah, after 30 days, pin, we have expired the pin after 30 days. So pin can expire. Remember pin history. You can't use last, how many pins? Okay, 3 pins. You can't use last 3 pins, right? Enable pin recovery. Definitely yes. So if I click next, yes, enabled. Use TPM, again, it's BitLocker. In our specific environment, the virtual machine might not take it, the Windows 10. So I'm not enabling TPM, but I need to enable pin recovery. I'll go to my environment and enable pin recovery, allow biometric. Uh, According to company compliance policy, but so Alan wants Contoso employees to have the ability to use biometric authentication like facial and fingerprint recognition. With Windows Hello, authentication happens when the employee provides their unique biometric identifier. Authentication doesn't roam among devices, isn't shared with a server, and can't easily be extracted from a device. If multiple employees share a device, each employee will use their own biometric data on the device. It's important to remember that to allow fingerprint recognition, you must have devices with fingerprint sensors and software, obviously. So the hardware of that biometric hardware should be there, obviously. So, like, suppose I'd say not configured, so that option should not come, and it should not bug me. But at pin, I set configure pin, so it will stop at pin, right? So it's not totally touchless now or unattended installation. Use enhanced anti-spoofing when available and create for on-premise resources, certificate for on-premise resources, use security keys for sign in. So some of those settings, so Microsoft is enabling biometric, and the rest are not configured, not configured. So I'm not gonna even configure biometric. So 4 here are not enabled. It's not configured. All 4, right? We don't need that. Next, which group? We know that. So we're gonna go for Autopilot group here. Excuse me. And Monday, Monday, Sunday, all groups will show here. Yeah, auto and select. Yeah, next. Specify to apply this profile within an assigned group. Intune will only apply the profile to devices that meet the combined criteria. So if there's a criteria of devices, you can put here that if the devices have this Windows version, then only apply, otherwise not apply. I'm not checking that, so it applies to any Autopilot device and create. So this means that we have created a configuration profile that deals with Windows Hello devices uh, configurations as well. So create a configuration profile uh, that um, you know that involving Windows Hello uh, pin slash biometric settings. So we have configured all that, but you can make it much more complex and security hardened autopilot deployment as well. You just have to keep going to different areas and keep adding that particular security group. So next, yeah, then we add the security group. That's it. It's pretty straightforward stuff. Okay. And yeah, so 19 seconds to experience how Ellen uses application provisioning. Now, application provisioning obviously is something that this is like on 18. Uh, okay, this is the second one in the city. So we're gonna go for application provisioning in next class, and then we're gonna try to select that. Hey, at least deploy MS Office and during that autopilot installation, right? Or any other Windows like Microsoft Edge browser. Maybe we can try to go for third party as well, like Chrome. So I need to use that script. So then this becomes a bit more powerful autopilot configurations. So yeah, we're gonna be trying to start application provisioning then. So next class we will go for uh you know apps will configure uh autopilot apps provisioning provisioning according to this MS step by step doc. So I'll just put that as well. Actually, we are on step 18. Okay. Okay. So we're gonna continue with autopilot, but yeah, you can see that how powerful it can get when you're deploying patching. You're configuring the operating system, then patching security during the installation, and now you're deploying applications as well. So you can deploy so much more that is all automated, right? But yeah, so create a profile or a config. Yeah, while Windows is ready, when waiting for all this to happen. So, okay, guys, see you next class and have a nice weekend. OMK.